G'day everyone, welcome to the video that absolutely nobody has asked for, and that is the rundown on our Series 3 Nissan Patrol GU with the 5.9 Cummins 12 valve in it. We'll probably start off with the bar work first and we'll move our way down. At the front we've got the TJM tradesman bar, just a step down from the deluxe bar, so you need to get your own winch cradle and whatnot. And in that winch cradle we have fitted the 13,000 pound Runva winch. It's a tight fit, but after a fair bit of mucking around getting to clear the intercooler, chassis rails, ended up getting to fit. Haven't actually used it yet on this trip, but I'm sure it'll come in handy when we're in Queensland. We've got the big boat and we have to winch out when we retrieve the boat. And yeah, the bar itself, so we're loving the bar at the moment. It's doing really well. Haven't had any single issue with it, and yeah, I'm very happy with the bar. And spotties, just got the cheap King spotties. I'm going to replace them at some stage and put a light bar here just to get a bit more airflow through the rad. She's not getting hot at the moment, but once I get the boat on the front, or boat on the back, sorry, and then yeah, it's gonna get a bit more airflow, and especially since putting the aircon system in, she's running like 2 or 3 degrees hotter, but once the boat's on the back, it's probably going to amplify it a little bit. And then with the aerials, we got the AM FM radio. I just bought it from a general stereo shop in Perth. I don't know the brand of it, but it seems to work quite well. Get a fair way out of town, so I'm pretty happy with that. And then here, this is the GME UHF radio that came with the car. I haven't worried about changing it. Seems to go pretty good. I think it's the TX 3100 unit in it. Yeah, we're pretty happy with that. There's no point buying a new one. And we'll cruise along here. As you can probably tell, I haven't got any rock sliders or scrub bars on it. She's a tourer, so not doing any crazy tracks. Sort of trying to reduce the weight a little bit because she's already quite heavy. Yeah, and we'll cruise down here to the bane of my existence, which is the MCC rear bar. In hindsight, we probably should have got like a Razzler or Awning and spent a bit of money, but it is what it is now. We've got to live with it. Yeah, the issues with it we find, if you come around here, Chell, this is the system it uses to lock the bar, and it's like a ramp style pin, and it just seems to always get caught on it. It doesn't really push up. I think maybe the pin's bent, but yeah, to get it on you got to lift it up. The other side's alright, but yeah, and just all around the powder coat isn't that great. It's just starting to rust in certain spots. And then also the system they use to lock your bar in, so you over-center latch and then you got to pin it as well, which doesn't seem like a massive issue, but once you're doing it 2 or 3 times a day, it drives you crazy, eh? And then, so we got the 35-inch tyre mounted on the back, and then the twin jerry can holder. And we've also got this K-on bracket for our gas bottle. It's a 2 kilo gas bottle, which stays on here permanently, and we just swing the doors open and then run a gas hose to it. So very handy, very quick setup, very easy to cook on. And then mounted on the bar itself is I've got the Gator reverse camera, which replaces your reversing mirror pretty much. And then I flush mounted the 12-pin plug, which is going to run all my airbag system on the boat when it arrives in Brizzy. And then yeah, and then we've also got the 2-pin Anderson plug, which is going to run the trailer brakes. And we've also got the flush mount air fitting as well, the Nido air fitting to feed all the air supply into the trailer, so we can pump the bags up and down as we drive. So that's a pretty neat little trick. And then yeah, we also just got a recovery point here as well, which we haven't needed to use yet, thank God. So hindsight would have bought a different bar, but it is what it is. It's not a horrible bar, but it's just the little things that when you're on the road, it just really drives you crazy. Alright, we'll move forward to the front and we'll do the driveline suspension as well. Alright, onto the tyres, suspension and driveline. So I've got the H233 under here with Eaton E-locker in the front. Haven't had to use it yet on the trip so far, but I'm sure we'll use it in Queensland with the boat, so that'll come in handy soon, I reckon. And then match that is a 3.9 gear ratio as well. And then suspension wise, running the hybrid arms with the drop boxes just to incorporate that 3-inch lift. So yeah, for the lift wise, we got the Dobinson, the highest rated spring I could get on the market for it. I think you can get custom ones, but these seem to be doing quite well. Haven't sagged or dropped in the 2 years I've had it, so very happy with those. Haven't had a drama, so yeah, stoked. And then arms wise, steering wise, we got the Superior drag link, and then we got the Tough Dog panhard which came with the car. So I just changed the bushes in that. I haven't really worried about that, so that's pretty strong. And then the Tough Dog return to center, which I probably wouldn't run again. I'd probably just run a standard steering dampener. And then at the rear, I've got the Superior tie rod with the heavy duty tie rod ends as well, and the heavy duty tie rod end all through as well. And then shafts, got the long field chromoly shafts with the auto hubs. So I just kept the auto hubs just to create a bit of a weak point. So I got spares of those in the car. Got quite a few spares in the back of the car, so sort of covered for that. And then tyre size, we've gone a 35-inch Toyo MT on a 16-inch steel rim. I just prefer the steel rims, just a bit easier if you bend one in the bush. And yeah, I've never had a drama with steel rims. Haven't worried about bead lockers or anything like that. Not doing anything too crazy, like I've said before. Yeah, that's pretty much it for the steering and suspension and tyres. Oh, and the rear is a H233, and that's also this front diff is braced as well with the Superior engineering kit. And then rear is that H233 as well, and that one's running Eaton E-locker in the rear too. And then that one's got stock shafts, but Patrol shafts are pretty strong, so I'm not too worried about those. I'm pretty kind on it. So yeah, and then that is also running a 3-inch rear 500 kilo King spring. Yeah, that's just to incorporate for that extra weight in the rear as well, so that's holding pretty good. And then I'm going to put the boat in the back so it doesn't sag down on me. And that's pretty much it for the rear. Also got the Tough Dog panhard in the rear as well, and then got the road safe heavy duty trailing arms for the lower, and then she's still running the stock top arms, which I might change at some point, but we'll get around to that when we do. Yeah, so that's pretty much it for the steering and suspension wise. It's a pretty small lift, drives nice, so yeah, nice road manners. I've had previously lifted cars in the past, but they just don't drive as nice on the road, and just looks a little bit more legal, I suppose. Yeah, and that's pretty much it for that segment. Alright, probably the part you've been looking forward to most, and that is the 5.9 litre Cummins with the P pump on it. Got it out of a 97 Dodge Ram from America, and then got it through a guy in Melbourne who imports them. Got told it was a good runner, but I thought I'd just inspect it a little bit, and yeah, probably wasn't the case. Pulled the head, no cross hatching, all the cylinders were all glazed over, so pulled the bottom end, and all the bearings were all cooked as well, so ended up having a cracked head as well, so she was pretty much a full rebuild after that. Brand new head, oversized pistons, got bored out, so a few other little things, all brand new seals through her, and then ARP head studs, 60-pound valve springs with billet retainers, collets, and then that was to match the 4K governor springs to let her rev out more, so yeah, just to hold that boost a bit better. And that higher revs, I didn't want to drop a valve, that would be very bad on lap was, I think. Well, I know. So yeah, apart from that, got the turbo, it's just the Aggressor 62, and that was from Power Driven Diesel. That's supplied by Matt from Double Duty Diesel, just a guy in New South Wales, great dude. Met up with him a couple of days ago actually. He's yeah, real nice guy, great products, great customer service, so if you need parts for Cummins in Australia, that's probably your man to go to. And that feeds into the Patrol Doctor airbox, which we actually got done a couple of weeks ago due to our airbox made in Perth that didn't quite seal, and we got dusted slightly, so picks up pretty quickly, so hopefully not too much damage. It's just yeah, a bit upsetting dusting a brand new engine, so hurts talking about it, to be honest. I don't want to talk about it anymore. Anyway, we'll move on. Snorkel, just a 4-inch. They're pretty standard these days, so there's not really much to talk about on that. Cooling wise, we've got the 4.2 fan, and then the 4.2 viscous hub that was machined to fit up to the Cummins fan hub, and that seems to work pretty good. We run about 84, 83 degrees highway driving, and that was with the Adrad 3-core radiator as well. I got a good steal on that. Someone didn't want it anymore and he wanted to get rid of it. He ended up doing a cut and shut for us at the radiator shop and just moved the fittings around, moved the inlet and outlet around, and that works a treat. In front of that was obviously the condenser. I got a brand new condenser for the aircon, might as well do it while you're there. And then the 600 by 300 by 76 intercooler by Aeroflow. Still on the job. Like, it's not the best intercooler in the world, but it's not ballooning out, not leaking. I'm happy with it. EUT is around 350, 340 highway driving, so I'm stoked with that. So for now it stays, but see how it goes in the future, I suppose. What else is there? This is the Ram AC relocation. Used to have the factory Dodge Ram bracket I modified, but I didn't like how close it was to the chassis. I don't know, one of those things. I should have done it when I built the engine, but you know, it's all good. Loving that right now, and it uses the factory ZD30 alternator too, so find parts anywhere in Australia for that, so in the middle of nowhere, a lot easier to find a brand new alternator. So yeah, and the only really part I don't like about it is that it runs, because it runs the ZD30 pulley or alternator, it runs a 7 rib pulley, which is factory, it's 8, but it doesn't seem to really affect it, so can't really complain. It's a good little kit. Yeah, it's just pretty straightforward to install, not too hard. Pipe work, we got the 4-inch stainless, full 4-inch stainless exhaust. Mate from Bullsbrook did that. Nino did a killer job. Everything's V-band clamp, so it's super easy to take on and off if you need to get to engine parts. So yeah, stoked with that. Flows good, sounds good, happy with it. He also did all the 3-inch stainless intercooling piping as well, hot and cold side. So yeah, pretty stoked what he's done. It was a bit of a prick to get around everything, so he's done a killer job with that. Also, Patrol Doctor did a killer job with this elbow for the airbox too. So boys there went above and beyond on that one. Really stoked with how they did that. What else is there? I think we're pretty much about. Oh, I moved the battery around. The battery obviously used to be where the airbox was. I didn't want to run the big intake pipe across the front. I just didn't really like the look of it. It's a personal choice thing, I guess. What else? Done nothing really to the pump except for the governor springs. Didn't do delivery valves. Wasn't chasing crazy power. Just want enough power but keep it reliable. Don't want to blow diffs and gearboxes up. And speaking of gearboxes, it's got the 5-speed power gear set through it. So I did that in my garage as well. All brand new bearings, seals. Yeah, it was a bit of a fun job, that one. Didn't really enjoy it, but yeah, got it done in the end. It's got 13-inch power clutch through it. Went through a couple of different clutches, not holding. This one seems to work holding so far, so yeah, happy with that. Happy with that clutch and that setup at the moment. It's got really nice like clutch pedal feel, super smooth, not too hard. Yeah, really bites right in the middle, so I quite like it there. So I'm happy with that. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, I got the crankcase vent on top of the rocker covers now, so it just breathes a bit nicer, a bit more flow, and then I can run that hose down the chassis, so I got no oil over my engine, I suppose. That's nice. I think yeah, that's pretty much about it. She's not the she's not a show car engine bay, but I mean, she works. She used to be a lot nicer when I first built it. All the paint's starting to peel because someone didn't prime it very well, which was me. But yeah, she's really, I love this engine. It works, it barely works on the highway. Like I'm sitting on 5-pounder boost, just cruising. Tows a 3-ton boat with ease. Yeah, it's just, I didn't want to travel Oz in a 4.2 and tow a big boat. It's just, I didn't want to push power out of it and having to worry about snapping cranks and lifting heads and all that sort of stuff. So I'm really happy with it. It's heavy, noisy, but it's fun. And it's reliable. 3 wires run it, no electronics, super easy, basic, simple engine. Yeah, really happy with it. Welcome to the interior of the Patrol. Not a lot going on, to be honest. I like to keep my dashes pretty cluster free, so I'll probably just start with the Sony. So Sony 3000, good little unit, got on special at Repco. I think Repco or Super Cheap, got a pretty good deal on it. So nothing too crazy. Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, that sort of stuff. Bluetooth compatibility. Yeah, can't complain. Haven't had an issue with it. Not the best, not the worst, I suppose. And then down here you got the Canyon rocker switch panel. And then so we just got USB chargers, front locker, rear locker, spotlights, and then blanks here. And then Chelsea's charging area. And then move on to the fridge. Little 11-litre Waco. Love this little fridge, eh? works a treat. So usually just pack it full of lunches for the day if we go on a big drive, or if you're at a camp, pack it full of beers. So yeah, it's a good little option when that big fridge gets full, which is not that often. And then moving on to Outback accessories, the roof console. Got it second hand on Marketplace. Got it pretty cheap, so I'm happy with that. Nothing too crazy going on there. And then got the TX3100. Came with the car. Can't fault it, it's good. Have no dramas with it, so just keep running it. We haven't really used it a lot this trip. We haven't really convoyed with anyone, so. And then we go to the MSA organizer. I think it's out, they run on the back of car seats, but we just bolted it to the back of the drawers, or front of the drawers, sorry. So it's run the run bar, the remote for the run bar, and then spot, little hand torch, little GME radio, deflator, yeah, just little nicks and knacks in there to keep out on the floor. And then probably one of my favourite things in the interior is I ended up modifying the one-side armrest to fit the Patrol out of a 79 series. Love it, it works really good. I usually get a really sore elbow and sore forearm driving, so this is perfect. It's nice and cushioned. Put a Pepsi or Coke in there, not a beer because that's illegal, so don't be doing that. Yeah, that's pretty much. Oh, I got a couple more things on the front of the dash. Got the JRP 14.1 gauge, so that monitors my EGT, water temp, volts, boost and oil pressure. And then it probably ended off with the AFC Live. That's just a little, that's another power driven diesel product that I picked up from Matt. Just controls the amount of fuel I put in, how fast it goes in. So yeah, it's a good little unit. Takes a little while to get it set right, so you're not smoking too much, smoking too little sort of thing. And then sort of control your EGTs through it as well, so you're not burning too rich or too lean, I suppose. Yeah, it's a good little unit, works well. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. That's all that's going on. Right, on to my favourite part of the whole car, I reckon, and that is the Red Arc Red Vision system I put in here. I'm very happy with how it's turned out. It wasn't too bad installing it yourself. Just took a little bit of time and just getting everything right. Yeah, so it sort of controls my interior lights, which I've all wired up through the Canopy. My work lights, a little USB port down here, and then got my inverter, 700 watt inverter, Red Arc as well. And then I've wired in a TJM twin piston compressor as well, which is also feeds into the trailer boat as well, or the trailer for the boat, and then water pump as well. I reckon probably my favourite part is this, these work lights, these hardcore work lights, and I've independently switched them from left to right, so I can turn left and right off, so I can off, on, and then you've got your three different colours. So we usually use orange so we get away from the bugs. And then inside here we've got the 150 amp hour lithium Solar King battery. That's plenty enough for us. We haven't really got a crazy amount of drawers, so we've only really got fridge in the rear, which we'll show you later, and then we've got the fridge in the front, the center console fridge. So I never really get below 75–80%. So, and then we've also got, I think it's 150 amp solar panel up top, so flexible, like the hard flute stuff. So just sticks straight on. So super light, and it yeah, really loving that solar panel too. That puts in about 9–8 amps, something like that. Don't quote me on it though. I don't really pay attention that much. Yeah. And then in through here, we've got all our camera gear, and then the inverters in there as well. And I've got a little, probably can't see it, but I've got a little power board in there to charge all the stuff up. So you just run laptop, drone, the Sony camera, and then Chell sneaks in her cosmetic bag, which irks me a lot, and I can't get it not to do it, which is fair enough. I've taken whole space up. And then yeah, just other camera gear and stuff for the videos we make that no one watches. Yeah, and then just down, this whole drawer system was made by, I think they've gone bust now, I think. What were they called again? I can't remember what they were called. Pro Camp Solution, I think they were. They made this full rear setup for us as well. So I've got a big stash drawer through here, which we store a few things in, and on the other side we store like towels and all this other stuff. Yeah, and if you move back towards this side, so as you can see, I've got lights on this side as well. So that's really handy for when you don't want to annoy people at caravan parks and other camps by shining both lights on them. So And into the back here, it's just where I got my oils and spare Milwaukee charger, and then vacuum, and then all our water stuff here, and then our workout gear that we don't really use. We should probably send home because we haven't used it. And then I got spare filters in this little box here as well, spare fuel filter and oil filters. It's probably due for a service soon, so I might actually have to get some of them out soon, I reckon. Yeah, and then if you look here, it's just I've just nestled the twin compressor in there, and that's just fed through a little gland and then back to the rear bar. I'm pretty happy with it so far, and then nothing's really gone wrong with that. Yeah, there's a killer little box set up in the rear here if you want to jump in there, Chell. Everything's fairly organised. I mean, we have been living out of the last 2.5 months, so it's not how good it was when it was started. But and then we've got a flat deck up here as well, which we store our mat and then clothes bags and then snorkeling gear. We've tried to keep weight up from being the top, but it's one of those things you can't always be perfect. And then I also store my in here I've just got my airline, which I plug in the back to do all my tyres and whatnot. That just sits in there nice and neatly. And then we've also got the fire extinguisher here as well. Hopefully we never have to use that. Sweet. And then I'll go get Chels to run you through the tent and then the rear setup as well.
So I'll run through the back of our car with you. So we'll start off on this side. We've got the Patrol Australia drop-down table, which we love. We use it multiple times a day for cooking, coffees, bench space, pretty much whatever. It's so easy to set up, that's pretty much it. And then this bit also flips out for extra space when we're cooking, and the table leg is just mounted up there. The only thing we have noticed is that the latches are starting to get a little bit droopy from just wear and tear, which just makes it a little bit more difficult to put away, but it's not really that big of an effort. We do also have the solar screen, which came just in time for our trip, so we're super excited about that. Just help to keep the car cool and insulated and also keep wandering eyes out. We've got them on all of the back windows and the rear ones. Our drawer system setup, so we got this from Pro Camp Solutions, so all of this was from them. The drawer brand is Off-Road Systems, and then me and Luke did a little DIY with the dividers, which they're holding up good, they haven't broken, so I'm pretty proud of us. In the bottom drawer we've got our pantry, which is looking a little bit empty. We are due for a food shop, so there's not too much in there at the moment. In the second drawer we keep our coffee, got a vac sealer for when we eventually get fish with the boat, cleaning stuff, cups, Yetis, and just random bits that are associated with this. In the top we keep pretty much everything that we don't know where to put it. So we've got power cords, laundry powder, awning ropes and pegs, toilet stuff, and then a little battery restart pack. Yeah, so pretty much anything we don't know where to put, it normally ends up in that drawer. On this side of the dividers, we've got all the tools and recovery systems. So this is Luke's work area. This side we keep all our cooking stuff. So we've got these bags, which we use quite a bit. We've got a few of them. We got them from Anaconda. They're just June brand. They're not rigid, but we haven't broken any so far, so they're pretty hardy. So we keep fry pans and bowls and containers in there. We've also got the crash pad cutlery roll, which we've got chopping boards and other cutlery plates, oil, salt and pepper in there. Got companion cooker and then the gas hose that we keep all in there. So that's all our cooking stuff. On the top, we got a K-on shelf, which just helps to give us a little bit more room. It's just all random stuff. So we've got yoga mats that get used twice so far. So they're on their way to the bin at the moment. We've got these mountain bike design chairs, which are so good. They were a little bit pricey, but they pack up so small. I'll pull one out. So they look like that. That's pretty much the chair in there. It's kind of like a tent. It's got poles and then you just pull it all together. And they pack up so small and it's so easy and lightweight. Also got washing bag. That's pretty much it for the top. On this side, we've got our kick-ass shower, which we use pretty often. We've got shower tent on that side. We've also got our water hose, which connects into the adapter down here. From the water pump, we turn it on there at the red arc system that Luke showed you a bit earlier. And then also the light control. So up here and along the top, we've got lights for when we're cooking and when we're just sitting out the back. you can adjust it from here, which makes it easy. You don't have to get up and go around. If you haven't noticed, we're big on making everything simple because we're lazy. On this side, we also keep our laundry basket. We've got our like washing up basket, and then also just a random bucket for fish and stuff. And I think that's pretty much it. We've also got a fridge. So this is a 75 litre kick-ass fridge. We haven't had any problems. I love this fridge, would buy it 100 times over again. Freezer section and then fridge section we split it into, which it's got a lot of room. Even the freezer section, before we left, we had probably like 2 weeks worth of meat all stored in here. Yeah, there's a ton of space in there. It's easy to clean. Yeah, we love the fridge, and the fridge slide is also good. And then tucked in here, we've got a little other table that we can pull out. Just if we're playing cards or having a couple drinks, we'll just sit around that table. It's just got fold up legs and stores perfectly in there. And I think that's pretty much it for the back. So I'll talk through the tent next. Okay, so starting at the top, I'll talk about our tent. We went with the Bondi top for quite a few reasons. We love the tent. We had a look at a few other brands and different styles like the clamshell, but we settled on this one just because it's super open when you have the windows down. There's a window on each side, so you get a really good breeze coming through. And also the little awning helps keep rain out. So it just drips off. It doesn't seem to get into the tent with the windows down, which is a plus. It comes with 2 fans inside and a light, and each side has a pouch to store stuff in overnight. And it also does have a charger port, which you can charge your phones and stuff overnight inside the tent. So they all came with the tent, so we're wrapped with that. You can leave all your bedding in there too. So we've got like 4 pillows and 2 blankets in there, which we leave all set up. You just rearrange it and bring it all down. You don't have to take anything out, which was another selling point for us. And it is also electric, so it's so easy to set up. You just have to pop 4 of these latches off and then hold the button and up it goes and down. So it's nice and simple. It's good for us because we're lazy. It also does come with 2 Anderson points, one for solar, one for main, which are quite easy to wire up. Luke and his handiwork did that. And that's pretty much all about the tent. We've got the solar panel on top, and then also the Max Tracks and Luke's bodyboard. With the ladder, this is an Alicab ladder. We were going to go with the Motop, but we managed to get this half price, so we ended up going with this one. There's not too much to say about it. It's a ladder, it does a job. It is quite comfortable to walk up. Yeah, there's not too much to say on that one. And the XTM, we've got this shower tent, which we use for getting changed, showers, toilet if we need. Yeah, that's good. That was quite cheap, but we didn't need something majorly durable and hardy for that. Yeah, it does the job. And we'll walk around this way and I'll show you our awning, and then we'll pretty much be done. Right, so the awning we went with is the ostrich ring awning. We got it from African Off-Road in Perth. We love it. Again, we had a look at a few other ones. We settled on this one just because it's really durable. It was a bit on the pricey side, but so far it's proved its worth. It's 270 degrees, so you swing it out and it just clips onto the hook at the back there that Luke has riveted into the tent. And then it's got poles that drop down and also cable ropes for in windy conditions. It also does come with, they're called flappers, which attach onto the end to pull the side of the awning down so the rain will pool off onto the ground instead of pooling on the awning. But yeah, we love the awning. We use it pretty much every day, really. Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. All right, so that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. It was definitely probably the hardest one we've made so far. Just a lot of stopping, starting, forgetting car parts, what we're saying.
There's so much on it, I just sort of, it's hard to sort of remember everything we've done.
Yeah.
So I did actually forget to mention the 90 over horsepower increase in injectors, so it's something you can probably add to your list as well. There's probably more stuff I've forgotten, but yeah.
We forgot the water tank too.
Yeah, it's a 50 litre water tank in here too. That's plumbed up to a pump.
Yeah, there's a few things. It took a while, but
yeah, we got there in the end, so.
Yeah, we hope you enjoy it.
Yeah, until next time.
Yep.
See you guys.
Bye.
Bye.